Welcome to today's collective reading. Begin opening with some sound clearing with the resonance of the third eye and some kyanite and selenite here to align the energies and elevate them so that only the messages of the highest and greatest good may come through for the collective. Thank you. Okay, so what does my collective need to know today? What guidance do we have coming through? Boop, 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 boop. Okay, so we have number 43, Sisterhood of Reciprocity, which breaks to a 7. So, foundation, Trinity, co-creation. Ooh. Also, Chariot energy, forward motion. All right, balanced forward motion. Okay, so we have in the receptive energy, guidance coming through from your higher self here, future self. Oh boy, okay. Ooh, the moon. Shadow work, being open to doing some looking at things that are uncomfortable, that are a bit intimidating. You're not alone. You have help. You have this guard dog, if you will. Senses possibly a bit sharper, a little more aware, a little more tuned in. Your ears, if you notice here, the ears are very big, so you're already very aware of self. Possibly you have an idea of what you may be encountering here, but you know the direction you want to go, and there appears to be an individual waiting there for you at the gate below this lighthouse. And the lighthouse, it's not a very bright light, but it is there. Ooh, that one hot. Okay, so we have the 7 of Cups. So you know which cup you want to choose, but you're in this state of having to deal with the other cups along the way and having to evaluate and discern. It could be, I reject this one, and I reject this one, and I reject this one, but you know the one you're waiting for. That may be the shadow work there. You already know which cup you want. It's obvious which one, filled with water, filled with love, right? But the shadow work is to go through all of these other loves and learn from them, so that when you do choose this cup, this love, you have already learned what to do and what not to do that makes you happy. Yeah. Do you know what your 9 of Cups is? Do you know what your 9 of Cups is? Yeah. You know what your 9 of Cups is, and I don't know, can you make an offer? Are you receptive to receiving your 9 of Cups? Are you receptive to receiving an offer that's balanced? That is pretty much when they're inverted. It's, are you sure you're ready for this? Are you sure this is what you want? Are you ready? Okay, so what do we have here from the higher self in the assertive aspect for this sisterhood of reciprocity? It could also be, you know, brotherhood of reciprocity. It's a belonging to a group, a friendship based, a camaraderie. It could be that this is something that is actually not good. This could be peer pressure. This could be groups of people that don't, people in the group that pretend to be your friend but are not truly your friend, and knowingly drop little seeds of manipulation and whatnot to kind of help you doubt yourself. It could be a breaking free of this. These could be the loves, each one reciprocating but not giving you, you know, an overabundance of love. Maybe they give you a, you know, a snake. Maybe it's cold. Maybe it's deceptive. Maybe they give you some things, but not everything. Maybe it's transactional. And honestly, transactional is not love. That's like a business arrangement. That's not love. That is not fulfilling. That will not be eternally fulfilling. It will not last. Okay, so assertively, your higher self is inviting you to look at embodying what the your Queen of Wands energy would be, what it would feel like, how you view yourself if you were to be in that. The symbolism is of a powerful feminine energy or a receptive energy displaying themselves confidently. The beacon in the darkness. This is the lighthouse. How brightly are you allowing yourself to shine? Are you dimming your light? Oh. Yeah, it came out on its side. So there's like, you want to be playful. You want to show up and be like, hey. Like, immediately it's a joke right out the box, right? Be a little lighthearted with it, a little silly. Okay. Ooh, the Two of Pentacles inverted. Yeah, you're aware that it's an end of a cycle and you need to keep that other pentacle from falling. You have to keep juggling it. Okay. And it's possible that showing up in this silly energy is the only way that you could foresee that possibly being something that keeps the balls in the air, right? The pentacles in the air. Okay. Oh boy. All right, we have the Hangman upright. And the Queen of Cups inverted. Okay, so this is where the challenge is. Assertively, there's an observation that what you are wanting to act towards is no longer receptive. So that makes it harder for you to confidently own this. This girl is on fire, Alicia Keys. You know, it makes it harder for you to own that. Okay. So this is just kind of the base energy. We're going to move into just kind of having a conversation here. We're going to have a more of a conversational note here. Okay. All right, Divine, what do we need to know for the collective today around the shadow work and this owning this confidence and knowing what cup to give to, but I don't know, am I receptive to receiving the one I actually want? Am I receptive to getting that offer? Have I looked at all of these loves and know what doesn't work and what does, even though I know the one I really want? And yeah, this observation that what you want is no longer open. How about this Page of Wands? Will this flip that Two of Pentacles into the upright? Is this the right strategy to actively move towards? Okay. Yeah, I'd say so, because that's the this is the Page of Pentacles in the upright, pretty much. Yeah, It's the Page of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles. Okay. It's the offer. Okay, so this is like a quick reaction to, this may be new, or it's a quick revelation of an offer. Once you do this, like once you come in this energy of carefree, silly, like nothing burdening you, this energy will replicate, like will the t-shirts and memes about, you know, what energy are we going to be in, because I mirror you, so you decide what mood we're going to be in. It's the kind of attitude. It's the kind of, you show up in anxiety and fretful and, you know, all of this, then this energy is going to mirror that. But if you show up all like, you know, like, hey, you know, like immediately kind of making a little bit of fun of yourself, it eases so much of the tension and allows this to quickly flip into something that mirrors this versus this. And that leads to a Knight of Cups. Strength, vitality. It's a strong open. It's a strong open to kind of get those positive vibes, the cups flowing, the water flowing again. Oh my gosh, these cards are kind of loud too. Oh boy. We're just going to do this. Okay, then we have the quiet and insightful. Ooh. Okay, so you're coming in and you're kind of silly and you keep it kind of superficial and allow those positive feelings to kind of come into place, the associations, almost like adding a bit of, I don't know why I'm getting this, but it's like when your lips are chapped and you put on like peppermint lip balm or something, and it feels so much better. Everything's smoother and it starts to heal and all of that. That's kind of what this is. This is like the balm to this Two of Pentacles inverted. And with this, the quiet and insightful nature with the Eight of Pentacles is not to necessarily get too deep right away, because you're going to observe truths that are deep. And this may be something that is being observed within you as well, because this seems to be something where it's like a breaking of the ice. How does this sisterhood aspect, this group dynamic play in? I mean, I'm gathering that it could be the past love vibe, but it could also be a group of individuals that are surrounding the situation and influencing it. What do we need to know about that? So we have the Six of Swords. Okay, so this act, this movement here, will it'll bring in calmer waters, but you'll be known. You'll be known for it amongst these people, or even the individuals in the past. They'll be like, wow, like you finally like found that person. I'm kind of like, wow. Adele. Is that Fire to the Rain, where she talks about, heard you found somebody new and you're settled down, kind of a thing. It's like past loves, past relationships, even if they don't consciously know that you have found something, they'll know that energetically, spiritual aspects, spirit-wise, that you are moving into something else. You're committing to something else. You're moving into co-creation. Then we have the Four of Swords, so healing. Healing from these past hurts. They were never meant to be in your life forever. They were contracts that were karmic, in that you were meant to learn something from them and they were meant to learn something from you, and then you were meant to go your separate ways. It being karmic is not necessarily a bad thing. It can be a beautiful thing, but it becomes bad when one side refuses to let go of the connection. Then it becomes toxic. Then it becomes unhealthy for both sides. which is just yet again validated here with this the Queen of Pentacles, being that you have a lot of insight. You're very artistic. You may have abilities. You may be clairvoyant. You may be psychic. You may have some extrasensory perceptions. You don't need somebody in order to be happy. You don't need someone in order to feel fulfilled. You are fine being with yourself. You are perfectly fine and happy being yourself. So if this is a group dynamic where, you know, they feel somehow that they can influence you to stay manipulated or controlled or with them, like they're karmic to the toxic side of things, you don't need them. And in fact, especially once it's highlighted that they're karmic, that they are planting seeds that keep you isolated and keep you within their sphere, and it may be very subtle, but it's there, then it's not actually fair to either of you for you to allow it once you become aware of that, because you were never meant to stay there forever. If they have to manipulate you, then they're not for you. If they have to manipulate you and play mind games, they're actually looking out for themselves, and they're not actually looking out for you. Someone who actually loves you is willing to say their truth, and if you decide to walk out of their life, then you decide to walk out of their life. But they're not sitting there still trying to pull threads and leave little messages or pressure you or anything like that. They're legitimately not in your face. So if it's from that perspective of it being some kind of a social dynamic around you or around someone you know that this is resonating for you for, they're starting to see that it's not actually a healthy thing to keep allowing this connection to continue. It's unfair to them, and it's unfair to the individual as well. So it's unfair to you, and it's unfair to those that you allow to continue to do this with you, to manipulate you, because you're meant for new energies to come in. If the manipulation is still there, you've learned what you needed to learn. It's time to bring that contract, that, hey, you know, we've exchanged wisdom. We've done that. It's time to move into something not toxic that's good for us both. That kind of a thing. Oh, okay. So we have the King of Pentacles. Ooh. A person with rich feelings and a strong personality. Ooh. Ooh. This is someone who knows what they want. And they have a depth. They have a richness of cups to them, of emotion. Okay. And they're going to come through with an offer, because they've realized this, and they're understanding this, that you're not meant to have everyone you've ever encountered in your life forever. Queen of Wands. People in sub-health. Ooh, interesting. Okay, so that's, okay, if you read this a little bit, my eye is being drawn to this about how there's many lines on the love line. Oh boy. So this person, like if I read it traditionally, it's pretty much saying, hey, you know, they're going to be making an offer towards you, or you will be making an offer towards an individual that is your Queen of Wands. Very confident, desirable. It will move you in that direction, which means this will flip up, right? This Hangman will come down from his tree, and this Two of Pentacles will be upright, because the Page of Wands broke the ice. However, like it being the many love lines, like this individual may have a lot of people that have, it's not necessarily saying that they've been in relationships, like romantic, but they may have had a lot of people who wanted to, or a lot of people who have tried to manifest them. And there have been a lot of timelines where they have had to deal with these energies being somewhatly intrusive enough to the point that it may have shown up in this way in this reading. They may not have those lines on their palm necessarily, but if that's what's going on, it doesn't necessarily mean they've had a lot of partners. It could just be that a lot of souls have desired to be with them. Okay. To have that abundant energy. Saw them as desirable. Two of Swords. So this is a tough decision. It's a tough decision, not because it's like rock hard place. It's, I have commitments, I have obligations, I have responsibilities, I have love on one side, yes, but it's not the Queen of Wands love. It's more of a, I'm hearing kids, it could be a kids thing, and all that wraps into that. And you know, a good parent will put their children first, period. They won't move towards something that they see as selfish that could kind of upset the balance for a bit. That is one line of thought. However, I want a little more on this before I continue. The Six of Wands. Yeah, okay. So it's kind of a validation of what was coming through. And you'll understand once I speak to it. So on one sword, you have, the family obligation. You have the love of the children that, you're nurturing, and, maybe you're in separation, maybe you're divorced, maybe you were never married. However it may be, you are a parent that is willing to put your child's happiness before your own. The other sword, which is why I wanted, to get this validation, is this is something that is possibly something that you really wanted at one point, and you made the decision that you thought was right at the time, which was to not rock the boat. And for whatever that may be, this may be something that's coming back around, because the Six of Wands is something that individuals thought long over, done, dead, coming back. And I'm going to go with how I saw it first, which is why I put it back in the upright. There's a very seriousness to this, which is why there's like this calming, this very soothing vibe to it. Okay, so the other sword. It leads to calmer waters. It leads to, yes, temporary change. Nobody does well with change. However, we cannot move through life and not experience change. Change is the one constant in life. The question is not whether or not you should or should not create change. The question is, what is on the other side of this change? The question is whether or not watching you as the parent find love, learn about yourself, love yourself deeper and more, and having that be something that your children get to observe and learn from firsthand, not in a movie, not in a book, not in some TV sitcom, or to see even their peers experience what it is to have, a healthy relationship between two adults in their life, being their parent and their parent's new partner. But to have that modeled for them in their own experience, their own life, that is in and of itself a huge gift. To provide them that opportunity to learn that lesson, to understand so much more about themselves as a result. So, just because I sense there's a bit of an, like a bit of an itch in some of the collective's mind about this, the Six of Wands being inverted, because you very well may be at that precipice of, do I give to this or do I not give to this? Because I know it will rock the boat, and while change is not necessarily going to be great for a bit, is it going to be worth it? Will it end up being a good experience for, myself and, definitely the kids involved? We have the Nine of Wands. So there's a lot of anxiety about this. And we have the Ten of Cups and the Three of Wands. Okay. 9 to 9. Okay, so you're having a lot of turmoil, possibly, or this energy does, this individual does. But, I'm really feeling that this is for the collective tuning in. You're having a lot of anxiety around this. A lot of anxiety. It's disrupting your ability to sleep. You may be having very vivid dreams that are very symbolic and active and possibly adding to your stress and your anxiety about it, because you sense intuitively, that the sword or the option, the path that you could choose that will create some change and some upheaval for a bit is actually going to be a love that is in harmony, that is solid, that is fruitful, that is going to provide that love. And that's very possible there. Now, that's not going to say that there's not going to be changes that occur within the adults around you that are used to the current dynamic. Thus, the Three of Wands, because you know which one you want. That means that you're not giving to two other wands. You're not giving your will to two other paths. So you already know it's like stay as is or choose this Ten of Cups. You already know that. But if you don't choose this Ten of Cups, you have two options around you that don't really inspire you the same. You know they don't lead to this Ten of Cups, but they're closer. Or they're more convenient, or they're there. But I'm going to tell you those two, they belong to a group that it's in their best interest to not encourage you to go towards what will actually make you really happy and model what that is for the children, what that looks like, moves like, walks like, talks like. So they will recognize it themselves as they go into life. They will be looking for that because they'll know what's real. Because this individual would not be causing this level of internal conflict if they didn't behave in a way that was contradictory to everything you know. In other words, you have encountered other loves that were manipulative, and they may still be in your life where they're still planting seeds to keep you from reaching towards your Ten of Cups, where they're still like kind of subtly knocking your confidence, subtly letting you know that you could never be happy with anybody else, or, like something like that. Like, you don't have to say that to somebody when you have a history. You don't have to say it outright like that for one word to communicate it, for one shrug or a tone. When you know someone really well, especially to the point of maybe this could be like a toxic ex that is the parent, the other parent of the children, you don't have to say everything for the message to be sent. So, let alone received. So when you choose this, you do know that there's going to be at least two other interested parties that may be a little upset that they're not chosen, and they may still do those very subtle-handed manipulations to try to drive a wedge between you and your Ten of Cups.
I decided that the reading needed to be split into two parts. So if you are interested into deeper insights into what would occur if you choose one path versus the other, I invite you to stay tuned for part 2 that will release either later tonight or tomorrow. Thank you very much for tuning in. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. The divine within me honors the divine within you. Namaste.